Good evening, all you friendos out there. Appreciate you so much for being here. Hope that you guys are enjoying the stabilization and upward momentum that the precious metals are in currently. Anyway, let's say our salutations and get into this. Hello, Honest Value One. Appreciate you coming in first there. Staples Stacker coming in next. Brandon. Penny Scout, my man, what's up? Gen X Silver Stacker, hello. Gunsmoke Gout, welcome back. And then Deep Water, what's going on? Let's see here. We got shame the billion-dollar companies can't stay open during active trading hours. Just a damn shame. Yeah, those markets that deal in trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of trade every year. Hey, every now and then, guys, technical glitches happen that take the system down right during prime opportunities, right? And yeah, we'll have some fun with that today. We'll explore. The CME group announced, their outage, and I'm gonna have fun. We're gonna go through some of the comments and see what people are saying, because I'm sure there's a lot of good, solid, calm, rational takes out there, right? Anyway, hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. I have a great question for that chat. Is Comex pronounced like comb or comet? Comex? I don't know how you would say it. I don't know. I figured it's whatever mercantile exchange, so I just say Comex. But I don't know. Comex, maybe? I don't know. I'm gonna say Comex. I'm gonna always say Comex, and if I'm wrong, I will be wrong until I die. All right. Palantir is well connected and in the know. Bought physical gold in August 2021. The company purchased approximately 50.7 million worth of 100-ounce gold bars. It sounds like they know something we didn't know. Deep Water, what do you think right there? And then kind of Stacker, good evening. Look at that sexy channel members in there. Thanks for being a part of the membership crew here, Kana. Appreciate you. All right, well, just basic conversation today. Metals are up. Well, look, George is looking in the wrong direction. What's going on? Look back over here, George. We got metals are up here. Let's switch over to the current market prices. I updated my marquee this evening as well. So if you don't know, you don't know, right? We had the market running up pretty good yesterday. It was in the 90s for a good bit there. And like all good things, I guess they must come to an end. And then out of the blue, we had some just technical glitches, technical trading glitches on, imagine this, natural gas and precious metals. Don't worry, not coffee beans, not oranges, not, piglets, nothing like that. Don't worry, those things were safe. Only just happens to only have been in precious metals and natural gas. The two probably most interesting things right now. I know nat gas has been having a fun run up, not just because of international conflict, but also massive northeastern blizzards and storms have caused natural gas prices to run up pretty high quickly too. And it's just really convenient that those things that are seeing a little spike in volatility and price are just, hey, technical glitch. We've got to pull them down for a little bit, get these glitches worked out. AKA rich people losing money, right? It's funny how that works. OC Omega Stacking. Hey there, buddy. Welcome back. Catcom, how's it going? Howdy. We got Colorado Silver. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Thanks, everybody, for hanging into our just little join casual conversation. I do have a StreamYard studio set up as well that I might throw the link out there later if we're all feeling frisky and we want to have a little conversation. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know anything about StreamYard or how to do it, so it's probably gonna not work, to be quite honest. But hey, whatever, I'll figure it out as we go. So yeah, let's look at this. We got gold currently, and now obviously the market is open. The Asian Eastern market is already trading, and we've got gold up to $5,187. It seems like yesterday that was what, 4,700, 4,800. Pretty solid, nice, smooth recovery there from gold. Silver recovering as well, now at 89.80. Again, we were in the 90s when Comex decided that it was just a little too many technical glitches to keep going. Platinum up to $2,297, and then palladium $1,772. If we can get $4 more, palladium can get $4 more, we could be $1,776 on the 250-year anniversary. That would be pretty cool. July 4th, we need palladium to be 1776. That would be pretty neat. We'll do that. I was well over the winter. It appeared spring was over, and it dumped a few more inches and stayed cold again. Wintertime blues activated. Dude, Penny Scout. Winter is my worst season. It is my worst season for sure. It gets cold, it gets dry, it's dark by 4:30, 5 o'clock. Windy, you just can't go outside, and like it's pretty rough, man. I'm with you. And we've still got, I think that our area is getting another winter storm possibly this weekend on Monday or Sunday or Monday or something like that. So we got a little more snow and ice in our future here. That American Silver Eagle guy, what's up, buddy? Got fist bump right back to boom. See it down there in the bottom right? Fist bump. Bam. Mr. Happy Stacker, appreciate you coming in. Thanks for saying hello. Yeah, so metal's looking good. Metal's looking real good. Look, what time did the Comex stop its trading? Anyway, it's real interesting what happens with metals when Comex decides to just pull things. But look at this last 5 days. Little 1 week action chart here from the 20th. Look at that. Man, we have had a pretty nice, solid, steady, smooth incline. Gradually increasing higher highs and higher lows. That's the kind of charts we like to see over here on the old Dragoon channel. Nice, steady, controlled, relaxing growth. I mean, even then, 80 to 89, that's, over a 10% increase in price in just, Weasley 7 days, 6 days, something like that. That's still great growth. I mean, there's really not many markets that you can put your money into where you get 10% growth every 6-7 days, 1 week, week and a half of market trading. So be happy with it. Appreciate it, guys. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's fantastic. It is a little high for me right now. I'm not buying crazy. I do think they can go up a little bit more, but I still think that we're going to have resistance at 100. I think 100 level is kind of where the Comex will continue to do shady things, and we're approaching what we believe is going to be some volatile times with the March markets, and we already know this CME group's going to pull some shenanigans, some shenanies, and they're going to, they're going to find a way. Southeast Stacking Collection. What's up, dude? Thanks for coming in here, man. Good to see you. Kentucky Fried Gold, baby. Was that like gold breading? Ooh, baby. All right. Let's look at a good gold's chart. Looks like for the last 5 days here. Same thing. Yeah, kind of similar here. Similar sort of growth. Obviously not 10% here, but still pretty solid. It doesn't grow. It's kind of like we would call it like a half alpha, right? If silver is the alpha, gold is kind of the half alpha, and meaning that it like if gold moves 10%, if silver moves 10%, gold is probably going to move 5%, right? It's going to be move about half. Typically, the S&P 500 would be your one alpha. And then other ETFs and mutual funds, you kind of discuss how it trades based on how it trades in relation to the S&P 500. Kind of the same thing. Here's what I've got going. So, or you could look at it the other way, whereas gold could be the one alpha, and we could have silver could be like a 2.0, moves double both directions. But yeah, it's good stuff. I like gold being slow and steady. Gold is where my focus is right now. It also I mean, this was the great crash, right? And it doesn't look like it really had too much lasting impact on gold. Gold weathered the storm a lot stronger than silver did. Silver definitely had a little bit more of a challenge dealing with those bad actors, but it's on its way back. I was looking into something else today, and I thought y'all might find this interesting as well. Copper. We've talked about this with copper for quite a while, and copper, I said, if we looked at the all-time chart, right? Oh, this is not going to work too well, but every time copper would have kind of like a run up, some other charts have a little bit deeper. It keeps getting smacked down every time it gets a run up, and it has such the hardest time ever getting to be above $6. And it had this little run, but look, I mean, they do not like copper being above $6. Whoever they is, I don't know. You guys can peg they. Whoever you think they is, that's who they is. You know what I mean? But somebody out there does not like when copper gets above $6 per pound. And it just, I mean, its trading range seems to just always be like 550 to 590 these days. This was great. We had this little run up, and if guy, it would have been nice if it could stay above it, but it just couldn't do it. So we'll see. But all the metals kind of running in the same general direction. Good to see. I think there's people out there that are buying the current date nickels because they're you buy the rolls and they are made up of nickel and copper, right? So a lot of people are out here talking about not going out there and spending thousands of dollars on nickels boxes and just sticking them in the shed, but people are definitely holding and storing their nickels, throwing them in barrels, keeping them around. So I think that's an interesting one to keep an eye on. I just don't have much faith in the metals that need to be melted down and split apart and figured out personally. So I'm not in this boat, but it is something to just think about because of the nickel and the copper content if you're into that sort of a thing. But yeah, overall, metals looking still slow, steady, strong. That's what the old Dragoon likes to see. What's up, TFT? Thanks for hopping in here, sir. All right, let's do some of this fun talk here. So this is the best place I can think to go to get information. Oh man, I just you guys got to see some of these comments on this. So CME Group puts this out at 2:16 p.m. All right, look at this. Hold on. First and foremost, this was put out at 2:16 p.m. All right, and they're talking about it anyway. Like it didn't. It look at this. Okay, due to technical issues, the CME Globex metals and natural gas futures and options markets were halted at 12:15 p.m. today. Okay, let's go into the one day and let's see what happened. 12:15. Can I get more than that? Oh, because we're on current time too. All right, so 12:15, we have a stoppage right about there, right? All right, so we halt trading right there. Well, actually, it's right here. You can see it right there. Here's how you can see it. You see the lack of volume that happens right here. See, there's like a big void where the volume just disappears for an hour. So that's where they halted it. Now I'm curious. Everything was going nice, smooth, slow, and steady, and then all of a sudden this happens, guys. This would be $91.25 down to, this was the first dip. Let's just call it here, $88.50. So we lost $3 shortly after the 1 hour halting happened. Very interesting. Very interesting. Water piping got replaced a long time ago. Copper won't go too high ever. People can wish all they want. There's so much of it out there, and they have been replacing copper wire with aluminum for a while. Copper plated. Water piping got replaced a long time ago. Yeah, I mean, again, I just look at copper because I think it is a tradable commodity or option if you want to do it that way. That's why I bring up copper, because if you look, like we go like a year back, this is what I'm talking about, Penny. When I look at it, I don't want to collect a whole bunch of copper, but I see these points where there's always like a good like 10, 15, 20% sell off. And I feel like if you just wait for that sell off to happen and then you start buying it when it starts to recover, then you can just ride it all the way back up and then sell it after, whatever percent you want to take. You want to take a 10% gain, 15% gain, and then you sell out of it. And then you wait for the next big manipulated dip, and then you sell it again. So I've just noticed this trend happens a lot. That's the only reason why I brought it up. So keep an eye on that. I think you guys will all notice this trend start as well if you start looking at the charts like that. So that's why I bring it up. So anyway, and then we had another little pop and then another sell off here, and so ultimately we went from 91.25 down to about 87.50. So we are closer to a $4 drop, which is around what, a 5%, 6% drop. That's pretty significant. That's pretty significant in the middle intraday. So There we go. So I don't know. Hey, you know what? Again, technical glitches happen, right? So let's go through some of this. This is fun. So that's what happened. That's kind of how the day broke down, and we are already starting to recover this evening or morning for them. Aluminum wire sucks. I don't know, man. I don't know. It sounds like it could probably get hot because doesn't it like? I know it cools quickly, but doesn't aluminum also get like really hot really quickly? Or am I crazy? Phony Comex only breaks when it's going up. You know, that is kind of funny, Mr. Happy Stacker. It's funny that the Comex halts trading when silver is running up really fast, and they turn on circuit breakers when silver's running up really fast. But then when silver crashes 35% in one day, isn't it amazing how everything works perfectly and there's no circuit breakers tripped? Isn't it really interesting? I don't know. I find it to be really interesting. I don't know about y'all. Copper is 100% paper stock for investment to make good money. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Benny. Now, I do like copper as a decorative metal. I think copper is absolutely beautiful. Like, for instance, here. Oh, also, thank you for the subscription over there, Remy Thompson. Thanks you. Thank you. I've shown this like big brick that I've got over here. I can't even reach it, so far away. But I've shown this big brick right here. But I do think that this copper it is a beautiful metal. I like the color of it. I think it makes really nice. I think it goes really good with like, steel and iron and dark wood kind of like decors, the more rustic ranch style look. But yeah, I've got this big, huge chunk of copper myself. And I really think it's a prettier metal and a more interesting to look at metal even than gold. And I think even brass, right? Is an even, as pretty metal and I love like all the way that the people can make it malleable into all these different shapes, and it just looks like a cool decorative item. I do like copper for that. I don't like stacking big giant chunks of it all over the place, but I do respect like the people that recycle all the old equipment, electronics, all that good stuff. I'm down with it. Oh, I think didn't switch. There we go. That's what she said, Kentucky. Yeah. All right, so let's see what these guys had to say here. Copper is gorgeous. I think so too. All right, so look at I don't know who these people are. These people could just be random trolls for all I know. But here we go. CME Group. Your technical difficulties conveniently resolved at the exact moment. 31,828 silver contracts, 159.1 million ounces were market sold in a single 15-minute candle to defend a $91 resistance line. This is a synthetic delta dump, not a glitch. CFTC enforcement subpoena the Globex command center server logs and communications from 12:15 to 12:45. Protect the market, not the paper shorts. Yeah, let me give you a hint here. None of that's ever going to happen. I'm telling you, unfortunately, the regulating bodies just don't care about this. Because why? Because the people that regulate these groups, they have people that are also on the boards of these large banks. That's why. That's why they just don't care. They all work together. They're all in pocket together. They won't say it publicly because then they'd be committing fraud themselves. But I think it's fairly obvious to make that assertion with no information, because nothing ever happens. A bank gets a slap on the wrist fine well after they've already manipulated it and made billions of dollars. And the fine doesn't even cover 10% of the profit that they made off of the situation that they got out of. So it is a pretty sad, pathetic way that our regulatory bodies. But don't you worry, guys. If you forget to file $500 transfer from Venmo, the IRS will make you have to identify and log everything to prove that it wasn't a sale and that it was actually a transfer, or you're gonna owe them, $50. So don't worry, guys. Don't worry. It'll all work out. 25 cents on every dollar made. Less than that, Catcom. Way less than that. It'll be way less than 25 cents. Promise you. It'll be more like 1 cent on the dollar. All right, so let me get this straight. For the past 5 years, you have had zero outages But now when metals are running and other market corruption is coming out, there have been 2 outages in less than 6 months. All remember we have a technical glitch today, and we have the old cooling in the middle of winter goes out on one of the data centers. So this guy, girl, I don't know, printed it out. 2021, no major multi-asset CME trading halt widely reported. 2022, nothing reported. 2023, nothing reported. 2024, no wide reports. There were isolated product delays and settlement issues. So the trading never stopped. They just had product delays and settlement issues. Metals pricing delays referenced in 2026 coverage, but not a broad trading halt. November 2027 to 2028. We all know about this one. It was out for 10 to 20 to 11 hours. Data center cooling failure. Also, remember that was when silver ran up like a good $20 in like 3 or 4 days. It was insane. 2026 already. Metals and nat gas halted for about 45 minutes. Technical issues on Globex, intraday disruption. Orders were canceled for the session, and obviously we were up like a good solid like 5 or 6%. So I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Maybe this is jacket. Somebody can fact check that, or we can community note that thing, or whatever. Here we go. This is another person talking about the amount of contracts sold all in the same pip. Am I reading this right, or did 31,000 contracts change hands during the outage? So somebody else is identifying that during the time period where there was an outage right here, this sell candle volume came in with 31,828 contracts being represented, while apparently the Comex was offline. Very interesting how all that works. You guys are criminal liars. I hope China ends your existence. Goodness gracious, Chad. Take it easy, Chad. Good day, Royal Stacker. If you're just joining us here, we are just going through the community's reaction to the Comex suffering a devastating technical glitch that lasted about 45 minutes and knocked out trading, except for some people. Somebody. Hopefully we'll get that information. Yeah, right. Just another in your face, we're in control and you're not. Yes, sir. So CME's halted during this period of time, and then look what happens shortly after the halting. Oh, well, the reciprocation of all those sold contracts shifting order there, huh? Let's see what Alan Bartlett has to say. You guys are not fooling anyone. What is happening? You are in collusion with the silver shorts to hold the price down. I hope the CFTC, which is the kind of the regulatory body that's supposed to be overseeing the Comex, yeah, right, just not doing their job. Brilliance, good evening, sir. Brilliance, good to see you. Welcome back. You missed a couple of streams. I'm glad to see you back. Silver Daddy over here. The CME is one of the biggest fraudulent organizations in U.S. history. The CME has been manipulating gold and silver prices for decades. Technical issues, my arse. Whenever the revolution happens within the United States, wow. Okay, let's go ahead and just leave. Let's go ahead and let you guys read that on your own there. I don't know if YouTube will enjoy me reading that out loud, but Silver Daddy, let's just say the real Silver Daddy is not happy about the CME group being shut down for 45 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Okay, now Trey Hall. Oh man. Okay, now trade halting and cancel all the orders. Oh man. Christian Love, thank you, sir. Appreciate you coming in here. Finally caught one of your live streams. I hope it's a good time, man. I hope you enjoy it. We're just here today. The conversation is just about our good friends and neighbors at the CME group protecting our interests, giving us a fair and equitable and transparent market that we can trade and buy and sell contracts and futures on. Really just making sure that they're of the top-notch quality, and oversight committees really make sure they have our back as a consumer to protect us from fraudulent activities. And none of that can happen because of our robust regulations and systems that we have in these financial institutions. So none of this could ever be fraud. It's impossible because we have laws that prevent this stuff from happening, right? And we enforce those laws. on people in power and people with money. When your exchange fails, go bankrupt, and you end up jobless, I will be happy for you. You are criminals. And silver is going to $1,000 plus, whether you like it or not. You can't stop it. Well, I hate to tell you, MBA economics, they control the market. So actually, they can stop it from going to $1,000 plus. And the reason that they can stop it is because the silver market is not being pegged at spot based on the demand of the physical metal itself. The reason it's as high as it is because of some of this fraudulent trading and exchanging. And maybe not, one day we might shift back to where the physical metal and the physical metal demand is what dictates the spot price. But until we do, they actually can manipulate this completely in whatever direction they want to satisfy whatever clients they want. They're not supposed to be able to. There's supposed to be regulatory bodies that oversee this and make sure it doesn't happen. But we can obviously tell over the last year that, and the last 50 years, 60 years, that they are not doing that at all. Can't break trade laws if you can't get online. CME says, hold my silver. Exactly. And by the way, just a quick reminder. JP Morgan moved their entire metals trading desk and their families to Singapore to evade potential I don't know why. Has the SEC Gov or US Treasury or SEC Scott Bessent been made aware of these difficulties? It appears too many as market manipulation and probably some kind of fraud or something else. We never know. We will never have. Silverback Sensei, please direct Congress to open an investigation regarding the multiple recent instances where silver prices were rising to record highs while the paper market is being exposed as a Ponzi scheme of fake ounces. And then the CME halted trading due to a glitch. How fragile is the ecosystem, or is it market manipulation? Are national and neighborhood banks next? Will their doors just get locked so people cannot get their money? Good question. Silver futures, according to their website, is at 89.29. Silver Dragoon, thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not updating the spot price like exactly with what's going on, but yeah, here's where we're at right here on. I use, again, I'm not just for consistency, guys, so you guys understand this. I always use Kitco prices when I'm reporting on this channel, simply for consistency, so that we can see the price day in, day out, and its adjustments up or down. If I were to just flip-flop from SD Bullion's spot price or the CME Group spot price or the Comex, if I switch back and forth, we don't have enough consistency to really determine the directionality of change and the velocity of change. So that's why, again, there's a lot of different declarations of spot price, but this is the one that I use just for this channel for consistency. There you go. If the Comex fails to deliver physical silver, this will cause a violent reevaluation to as much as 305. What do you think, Dragoon? I don't know about the number of brilliance, but that is something that we've absolutely been paying attention to. We absolutely been paying attention to that brilliance and talking about that pretty consistently here. I think that March now I have seen already that the CME Group, and then we can bring it up if you guys care to talk about it, that a lot of the March contracts have already been shifted and rolled over into following months, and we've been reporting on that and following that pretty closely. So here's the volume charts, and look, remember when we first started reporting on this, the March contracts were up to around 103,000 contracts. Now, look, 15,000 are gone. Where did they go? Oh, poof, kabam, ba-zing, ba-dow. Now we're down to 21,000. However, if you look down here, May is pumped up to 70 grand. So what I believe is happening is that the CME Group is contacting the big holders of these contracts, which are your large banks and institutions. And I believe that they are contacting them and asking them to basically please roll over your contract. They're probably giving, waiving fees, doing sorts of, just little deals and trades. They're probably requesting some of them take a portion of their contracts for cash settlement instead of physical delivery. I'm sure that they're working through this, but if you go back through my old streams, you will see that this number has gone from March contracts up here, has gone from over 100,000 slow and steadily as we've approached the delivery contract dates down to 21,000. And we've seen May and July pick up in the quantity of contracts. So again, yes, whoever just said that, kicking the can down the road, absolutely K-fried. That's what they're doing. But they have to. They have to do it. Because if 70,000 contracts stood for delivery, there just simply isn't enough silver to deliver. And the refineries can't keep up pumping out enough 1,000-ounce bars to settle. So they have to find ways to make deals with people. Or they can just shut down the Comex and just cancel deals, I guess. You know, technical glitches happen, boys. How long can they kick the can down the road? Happy Stacker, they can kick the can down the road forever. I mean, they really can. Until somebody steps in who oversees these things, actually helps with that, they can. What's up, Sober Stacker? Appreciate you coming in, brother. Got my friend of the channel there hanging out with us. Weren't we just talking about $89 around a month ago? I remember it called 99, and here we are again. I'm calling for 99. Let's do it. Hey, Brilliance, man. You are always optimistic about the price of silver, my friend, and I appreciate you being in here. I like having the bulls, and we like having the bears, so we don't care. We take both of you guys. We can all have a say in the direction, and we can all try to figure this out together. Taberson, what's got? About US as the world's leading derivatives marketplace, CME Group is where the world comes to manage risk. We enable clients to trade futures, options, cash, and OTC markets, optimize portfolios, and analyze data, empowering market participants worldwide to efficiently manage risk and capture opportunities. CME Group Exchanges offers the widest range of global benchmark products across all major. Are you copying and pasting something for me? Asset classes based on interest rates, equity indexes, foreign exchange, energy, agricultural products, and metals. We meet uncertainty and volatility with confidence and clarity across the life cycle, and we will shut it off if our big spenders are put into a tight spot.
Stay a while and listen.
Oh, good stuff. All right, I don't know where you got that, because that's directly from their website. Very reliable systems. Very reliable. Free trips to come on, stable. They moved to Singapore, not that island, buddy. A different island. Okay, keep it clean. Keep it clean in the comments. That's my moderators doing this stuff. Jeez, you almost got me. Also, by the way, I read that entire diatribe you threw up on the screen, Taberson, from like 7 feet away on the second monitor with very small text. Your man can read, okay? I'm not like Gavin Newsom, you know. Gavin Newsom bragging about his 960 SAT score and the fact that he can't read. Different audience, I guess. But, you know, I can read, okay? Maybe there's overseers on the take as well. Could be. You think so, Mr. Happy Stacker? You think there's any chance? You think there's any chance that there's people on the CME Group that are also members of these large banks and institutions? You think by any chance there's also members on these regulatory agencies that are also members of boards or friends of board members on these large financial institutions? You think there's a possibility that there's a conflict of interest out there managing all these systems and shutting them on and off and turning them off and allowing people to make backroom deals and to cancel transactions? You think so? I don't know. That just sounds like conspiracy to me. I don't know. I'm very happy at 90 this moment, though. I'm still want to afford buying. Welcome, the Donksum. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where it's going to go. I have been a pretty loud proponent that the $100 level is going to be a lot of resistance and barrier for silver. I am happy to bust through that and be proven incorrect and proven wrong, but we haven't seen it. We saw it for a short period of time. We did, but then that's when the sledgehammer came down and cracked us in the face, right? So here's where we are now. I thought this was going to happen at 100. It happened at 120. C'est la vie, right? But, you know, we could very easily be in a situation where we come back up to this $100 line and we get pounced and blocked and pushed back down. And we'll just have to wait. Time will tell. Time will tell with these markets. But that's my prediction. And that's been my prediction for a while. I thought March would push a lot of volatility and turbulence, but unfortunately, I don't think so anymore, because if you see, like, every single day they're just nuking um you know options and contracts, contracts out of the March dates, and they're pushing them into May and July. So I have a feeling that when May comes around, they're going to push, even, July will get back up to 50, 60,000, and then all of a sudden September will. And I have a feeling this is going to be replicated all year long until they get some sort of equilibrium between the quantity of ounces they have available for delivery that are, registered and available, and the number of contracts. So I think they're going to kick the can down the road until the excitement and interest in silver dies out. Keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. Yeah, well, unfortunately, when these bad actors do bad actions on these markets that are supposed to be open to people, the people that get hurt in this are never the large institutions, guys. Even if they lose, 100 milli on one trade, guess what? They're going to make $1 billion more over the next 6 months on inverse trades and just working out deals with people. It's going to work out for them. The people that get crushed are the people that don't have trillions of dollars. It's the people with thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars that are just trying to, like, get by and make something for themselves, or to start a new business or something like that. Those are the people that get crushed in these situations. It's your normal people, your middle class average Americans. It's your entrepreneurs. They're the ones getting crushed, man. And it sucks. I looked at it. I looked it up. 1 to 25 was the peak of $116 exactly 1 month ago. Crazy stuff, Dragoon. Time flies when you're silver fun. Yep. Time is definitely flying. I'm with you. I'm enjoying it, man. I'm enjoying the ride. Again, we're all winners here. If anybody in the chat, I think, that owns ounces of silver and ounces of gold, we're winners, man. Now, I believe in full diversification, not just putting all of my assets in one basket and one asset class. But some of you guys, you really enjoy, precious metals, and that's your main vehicle for investing and saving and whatever. But I think that if you are somebody that is in precious metals, you're a winner. The last 2 years, you've been a winner. And what are we even complaining about? Going from 120 to 70? Is that even a problem? You feel me on that? Because I remember when I was mad about buying silver back when it was $25 an ounce, and I was complaining to my wife saying, "This is the most I've ever paid for silver, honey. I sure hope I don't regret buying these 10-ounce bars," right? Like, did anybody else have those conversations back then? It was like $30, and you're like, what am I doing? What am I doing buying silver at $30? And here we are, 3 times more than that. And we're still here. We still got, nice hot cup of tea. We got a nice meal in our belly. We got a nice bed to sleep on. We're working hard. We're saving money. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Rodney, what's going on? Can you do a live morning show about 8 to 8:30? I'd like to see you crab rated. They will like you a lot. No, I appreciate you, Rodney. Yeah, I respect and enjoy International Stacker a lot. I watch his channel. I'm actually Rodney, I actually have International Stacker's channel up live on my television in the mornings when I'm drinking my coffee, getting ready for the day. So I just don't have it set up where I can chat. So I typically just watch, I'm one of his lurker viewers, but I really enjoy that guy, and he's got a cool community. Definitely. I'm part of his Discord server as well. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Still have some quarter rolls to go through. Oh, it's a Burson. Are you out there? Hard. Let me see what you set up there. Real estate crash is looking really close, Dragoon. It's kind of happening already. Brilliance. I've been reporting on the real estate market in some capacity for about 3 years, and I've been following it pretty closely. The market in many areas, guys, the market for real estate, when you look at the prices that they're listed at and you look at the actual closed settled price, you'll see that they are settling for like 20 to 25% down of the asking price in a lot of regions of America. Now, there's obviously still some hot pocket markets that haven't really gone down much, but I've been paying a lot of attention to that. So, to your point, I think that I don't think there's going to be a real estate crash, right? Like there was in the past. because the real estate crash in the past happened because of a lot of really, really poorly structured loans for people that really didn't qualify for that level of loan or that amount of money, and they couldn't pay them back. So when times got tough, you know, they basically just defaulted, and all those went to foreclosures, and you had all those bad debts, resulted in banks needing to be bailed out and everything. So I don't think we're there because they reformed a lot of the loan processes. Qualification came back a lot stronger. There are a lot of bad loans out there. There's a lot of private loans, a lot of bad, just bad loans being bundled with good loans to make them look better. There are some instances of that, but I don't think we're going to get a real estate market, you know, 45% crash for 2 years situation like we did. I could see 15 to 20% markets drop, but that's about where I'm at. I wouldn't even make an offer on a home unless it was probably 25% lower than their asking price, and then negotiate a little bit up if I need to go from there. Right? Does that make sense? Fun content over it. Yeah, I see the crabs now. Appreciate you guys throwing the crabs in there for our international friend. I got 99 problems and silver ain't one. Is that what you're trying to say there? Oh, you guys are funny. All right, you guys want to see some more comments on the community here? Oh, hey, Happy Stacker, man. Thanks for dropping the super chat, buddy. Appreciate you very much. Everybody throw some Dragoon hypes if you're a channel member, or some you know, strong arms or whatever, some flexing arms for our man Mr. Happy Stacker, keeping the hot tea hot around here. Appreciate you. Sorry. Taking a good old sip of coffee right there. Staking loan protocol, Dragoon, 50% APR, nice to make money. Buy more silver, setting on my R strategy. Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of good things out there. All right, let's see what we're doing here. How odd, sasshole. How odd it only happens when silver is going up. That's the way it works. Every single time the Comex has hit a circuit breaker or an outage has been when silver was going up. Isn't that interesting? Wow. Blatant market manipulation to control natural asset prices. What else is new? Yeah, what else is new? I mean, at some point, guys, we just have to expect that when things go too good, there's going to be a hard pullback. Catcom, I'm 100% sure, buddy. Catcom, I am 100% sure, my friend. I think many people at this rate are going to demand investigations into this nonsense. It's like, who demands it? Does anybody know? Like, who can we email? Who can we petition? Who can we alert? Right? Like, what regulatory body is actually going to take action and investigate what's going on? Because all the CME group has to say is like, oh yeah, there's a technical glitch. Like, and then just shut it off. And then they can just push some sort of, I don't know, software update and be like, look, there it is. There's our fix. I don't know. How do you prove it? Unless you like subpoena everybody's phones and computers and laptops and you actually go through all the communication. Now, I will tell you from firsthand experience, they could deploy AI agents, not meaning like, you know, the Matrix agents, but like actual AI agents to comb through all the communications data and basically pull conversations that could indicate that there was some sort of collusion going on. But I don't think they're going to ever do that. They won't get the authority to do that, at least. This was all about letting the criminal banks get long again. Is this the Banana Republic Exchange? Don't make me quote the embellishment from your website. Is that what you just quoted over there? Was it Novice Prep? Who was dropping the entire quotes from the website earlier? Is that what you were doing? Were you following up for Steve here? You sit on a throne of lies. Oh man, I just love seeing everybody's reaction. Here we go. This guy Brent is on my my wavelength here. 0 halts or circuit breakers on the way down. You coordinated this attack with lenders to suppress March calls. You guys are corrupt scumbags. I mean, I don't know, guys. I don't know if they did or not, but I can just tell you that today 15,280 contracts have been removed from the March contract list, and only 5,000 have gone here. So we are looking at 10,000 contracts that just went Vamash, vamoosh. Where did they go? I don't know. We'll never know. Oh, wrong screen, wrong screen. All right. Okay, let's just skip the first word there. Criminal organization. I look forward to you choking on your 200 billion ounces of paper silver. You keep dumping prices. We will all keep taking more physical off the table. You are going to lose this time. 50 years of nonstop manipulation. This is the year you fail in epic fashion. If anybody needs a leader of the La Revolution, Soul of Success might be the guy you contact. Silver Surfer. Audit the Comex, audit the CME. We demand the Gov. End financial corruption now. No more bailouts. I mean, do you guys remember the Walk on Wall Street? What was it called? Was it called the Walk on Wall Street Act? You guys remember how short-lived that was? Where that was kind of like a revolution of the average man standing up against the Wall Street and the big bankers, basically screwing over the average investor and American. That died out really quick, didn't it? I wonder what happened. Oh, man. I don't see if anybody else has anything that's really... How is this even legal? I'm about to turn into Karen. I want to speak to your manager. I mean, this is the thing. There's like, what is the recourse? What is the actual recourse that people can take to get any sort of regulatory body to actually do work? And to see what's going on, to at the very least just see if there's any malfeasance going into the situation when they shut these off for 45 minutes. And what they're going to say is, we reported an outage, we got it back up and running as quick as possible, but then what happened? Technical issue, my arse, the BS indicator is throttling on red here. All right, anyway, found your glitch, shut it down, shut it all down, shut it all down. Somebody press the button. So this guy's trying to get the FTC CME group halted all trading so they could make backroom deals and process preferred business. Now, I do agree that this is happening. I just don't think they're even doing it in the back room. I think they're just straight up doing it, right? This is blatant manipulation and not how a free market works. Please investigate. Technical issues mounting. It's all a laugh, isn't it? It was what one of you guys were saying in the chat here. They're just laughing. They're just sitting back laughing about all this. What does the FTC have to do? Report fraud, scams, and bad business practice. Report fraud, ftc.gov. So maybe if you guys want, I mean, maybe you guys can go to reportfraud.ftc.gov and fill out a report and just ask, just because this X site, it says literally right here, X is a third-party site not operated by the FTC, does not maintain or share personal, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I don't know how helpful this is, but you can go to ftc.gov, it looks like. We can go to report.ftc, and maybe, just maybe, you can go here and you click report fraud in the top right here, guys. And maybe you can click report now, and maybe we just fill something out. And maybe if we can convince hundreds or thousands of people to, at the very least, submit a report, maybe they will at least make a phone call and say, hey, Bob, you guys on the up and up over there at the Comex, we're getting a lot of reports lately. And then Bob can be like, yeah, Jerry, we're all good, brother. Nothing to see here. We reported the outage. It was a technical glitch. We got it back up and running. Business as usual, sir. All good. And then the FTC can report to us and they can say, hey, guys, we investigated. We found nobody criminally liable. No bad actions. And everything's good to go. Peace out. Right? Like, I mean, we probably get as many arrests as Pam Bondi has made. That's something like that. That's what I'm thinking. What is the current interest rate for a house? Anyone? It's like 5.9% if you have like a 750 or higher, something like that to person. If you're looking, if you've got like 800 plus, you could probably get like 575 for like I don't know. Are you doing like a primary home or whatever? I'd like to do what the bankers do, just don't have enough money or the brains. You have the brains, Rodney. You just probably don't have the money because you probably need about $1 trillion that you can have just go every which way and just manipulate things however you want. I see millions of ounces moving from eligible yesterday and today. Did you really dox them? Okay, I need to check into that. I'll look into it. Release the Comex file. Exactly, Diversa. That's what we're talking about. I need to start stacking those 5-pound green beans. No, the 5-pound green beans failed us, friends. 5-pound green beans have failed us. We don't stack 5-pound green beans. We stack 10-ounce green beans, all right? I don't like saying things without proof, but some things you can tell stink. Yep. Where there's smoke, there's fire, Happy. Obviously, nobody knows anything. There's no proof of anything. But what there is proof of, right? What there is proof of is that trading was halted. There was a complete gap in volume. And all of a sudden, right, 16,000 contracts just kind of vamooshed. How or why? Nobody knows. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I need AI to write a program that copies their strategy so you can benefit when they do. Yeah, the problem is that the AI wouldn't know their strategy until it's already done, and then you're already behind the 8-ball, TFD. You'd be buying after they've already run the price. I'm going to be very top. I will fill a prayer with the Most High, asking for the fall of Babylon. I don't know, Brilliance. I don't know. Have we considered all the have we considered all the collateral damage if the Comex were to actually disintegrate? Right? What would happen? Like where would so the one thing about online markets is they do allow for the exchange of goods to be rapidly made, for better or for worse. So you have a pretty fluid real-time market. If you didn't have an online market for these things, the problem we would face, right, would be that like people in St. Louis might have a different spot price than the people in San Francisco, than the people in Houston, than the people in Chicago, right? Because there wouldn't be really a quick and easy way. It'd be like the old timers, right? Grabbing the gray sheets, trying to look up what the value of a coin is when they could just go online and see the actual recent sales of that coin and derive a true price from a real market value instantly, right? Like we'd be going back to the Stone Ages on that stuff. What's up, Vegas? Thanks for popping in here, brother. Appreciate you. Let's see. Yeah, 10 ounce green beans, but yeah, hashtag 10 ounce green beans, not the gallon green beans, boys. That's the one thing we need to take away from this live stream is don't buy the big cans of green beans, all right? It's not junk, TFT. It's not junk. I have patience. It's gonna go up. Yeah, Rodney. I think, yeah, if we're talking about just the silver price, I do too. I do too. I think it'll go up. I want it to go up gradually, guys. My goal is to see just a slow, gradual, little, angle here. I don't like that 1 year angle where it went straight up to the moon. I like a slow, gradual increase with some up days, some down days, and it all balances out more in our favor over time. We take it. We take those wins, right? Hedging, risk management, speculation, price movement, trading, price discovery, CME futures markets are highly liquid and globally traded, making them important for setting benchmark prices. I agree with Chat GPT there. But that all works when you don't have an overlord who can just walk in and shut the spigot off whenever they feel like it, right? That's the problem. If there's a systematic reason for it to be shut off, that's one thing, right? That's why you have those circuit breakers. But if they're just shutting it off so that they can, like Mr. Happy says, David Blaine, 16,000 contracts, then that's a problem. That's a very big problem. Nice short video today. Oh, did you guys drop a video? I haven't looked at everybody's videos yet, but we threw a call to action out there for our little small channel mafia out there. What if the plan is to replace the old stock market with a new digital stock market? I'm not sure I follow you with Brilliance, because the stock market is digital. Like, there's no longer like really people on the floor of the stock market, the New York Stock Exchange, with paper tickets, waving them up and like putting in their deals with people. That's pretty much already done. That's a relic of the past. I've been actually on the floor of the stock market, and I've been of the New York Stock Exchange, and I've been on the upper rooms and stuff like that. It's a really cool place, but even back then it's not what it is. It's not what it is like from the movies and from back in the old day, where people are like rushing around getting a ticket from a vacuum tube or a phone call and writing things down on a ledger and then running over to a trading desk and like, I got 500 on Microsoft. I got 500 on Microsoft. No. Like, nah, it's not like that anymore. It all just trades digitally instantly. Big question is, will the CME use the nuclear option? What do you consider to be the nuclear option, Doxum? I'm not familiar with that terminology with the CME group. So, what kind of things would happen in that nuclear scenario for the CME group? See here, planetary alignment on the 28th. I was watching this guy. I can't remember the name of his channel, but I was watching this guy who had a pretty fascinating take on the alignment of like Saturn, Neptune, Mercury, Mars, and all that. And he was talking about how it was like a very rare occurrence when we have that perfectly like linear alignment in the solar system around the sun. I found that to be pretty interesting, to be honest. I gotta remember the guy's name. If I do remember the guy's name, I will mention it for you or drop it into my Discord or something like that. But yeah, he had a lot of cool information for it. What was this? Juliet, thanks for being here and appreciate the super chat coming in here, guys. Couple super chats tonight. Thank you very much for your generosity, guys. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. We're just, again, yeah, Stephen Burns, that's him, yeah. I'm glad you guys enjoy the show. Again, we're not trying to, sometimes we just do these shows, just talk about the metals, talk about what's going on in the news. And sometimes we go into deeper analysis of the actual charts and try to predict what, silver's going to do and gold's going to do. But really, it's kind of just a community conversation, guys, where everybody is welcome to share their opinions. There's no bad answers. There's no right or wrong answers. We're just trying to understand the best we can. And the idea is that we all sit back, we grab our coffee, tea, whatever you got. We kick our feet up on the coffee table and lean back in the sofa. And we just hang out and talk about these things that we all kind of collect and stack and invest in. So here we are. Yeah, but that is his name, Mr. Happy Stacker. It's Stephen Burns. He has absolutely fascinating videos on planetary alignments and solar systems and the effect of the solar systems on, the Earth and the people on Earth. And it's fascinating. I don't have the intelligence or the knowledge of that subject. It was never one of my things, but I do find learning about things new like that is interesting. So I've been watching his videos trying to just trying to get educated. I think he's an astrophysicist, I believe, or something like that. But I don't know. Again, I don't know how much is speculation versus fact. Whereas in the financial markets, I can kind of sniff out the, as The Rock says, I can sniff out the bullshit. You know what I mean? Because I know that information and I've been trained in that information. But yeah, when I'm not, I just kind of take it all with a grain of salt, listen, and just find it fascinating. Looking forward to investigation into market manipulation and fraud. I wonder how many of you go to jail. I'm going to guess not many go to jail. To Burson, appreciate you so much for coming in. Have a great night. Thank you for hopping in here. Let's see. Anyone else got any good information on this? It's all fake numbers. The real number is $266 an ounce silver. Stefan, guys, Stefan Burns. Thank you. So we got another one here that is kind of like Brilliance. Brilliance is always talking about like that more like natural price of the metals and, the 15 to 1s and the 7 to 1s and 266 ounces per ounce of silver is what this guy is calling for here. Smoot Hawley at Silver Surfer. Trading paper is for fools. Ignore the Comex fake numbers and stop trading fake paper. Then we win. The problem with that, guys, is the physical price is determined at your coin shops and refiners and stuff. It's being determined by these futures trading prices that are setting the spot price. This isn't about the retail, it's not about you and I. The people that are going to make these determinations are the wholesalers, the online distributors, and the coin shops. Unless they all come together, right? Unless they all come together and work towards a more natural physical metal 1-to-1 ratio based, pricing, we can't change that. We really can't change that. I hope groups stand for delivery and this farce can finally end. Justin, I just don't see it. Is that the second time I've seen that squirrel? Hold on. For some reason, all right, I felt like I saw that squirrel icon before. I thought maybe I'd read, but the thing is that they're working out deals. They are working out deals, and it's going. The can is going to be kicked down the road even longer. Unfortunately, I was hoping that March would be that period of time where the banks and the institutions stood firm and they got delivery, but we've already seen it. I mean, we were looking at it right here, guys. It's already happened. This number has dwindled from over 100,000 contracts in March. It has fallen all the way down to 20,000, and it's already being kicked down. 10,000 contracts disappeared today. Only 5,000 were really converted over here to May, and the other 10,000, we just don't know what happened to them. That's the problem. That's the problem. Let me get caught up on what Fuzzy's got to say here. I made a promise to Fuzzy that I would read his chats. Comex doesn't have the physical silver. They will eventually suspend all silver trading indefinitely. I don't think so, Fuzzy. I do think that they're going to keep pushing the contracts and working out deals with people, requesting cash settlement until the number of shares and the number of contracts dilutes enough where they can deliver, and then they won't care. Comex Rule 701 is force majeure or nuclear. Oh, so the problem is, Doxum, is the force majeure cannot happen. That is invalid when it's dealing with contracts that they know about in advance. They can only force majeure if there's some sort of thing like a war. Like if for some reason we were to actually go to war with Iran, right? And boots on the ground, and the US is in code red, and, you know, kind of an actual live war situation. I'm not talking about like the Ukraine proxy stuff and the Venezuela capture and grab, you know, dine and dash over in Venezuela. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like an actual full-fledged war. Then they could do that, because that would be what would be considered an unforeseen event. But with the contracts being known in advance, everything that I've read, and I've read about it on their site and everything, from what I can understand, they legally can't do the force majeure with known information. It'd have to be unknown. Nice. I hear whispers of 15-1 GSR coming. I don't know, Jaeger. I don't know, Jaeger. Maybe. No one will sell to us. 100% guarantee that by 2029, the GSR will be under 20-1. So what do you think, though, Fuzzy? Are you thinking that gold will continue to go up and silver will just play catch up much faster? Do you think gold will stay stagnant at where it is around 5,200 and silver will catch up? Or do you think gold will go down and silver will go up? Like, what is your prediction with like gold? Like, how does gold play into the 20-1 ratio? Because if gold continues to go up the trajectory that it's going up by 2029, and it's going up, 50% a year per se, right? For the next 5 years, we're talking like $13,000 gold at that point. In which case, silver would have to be way up there, right? So, I mean, that's what I'm curious about. Like, do we think all these things are going to just kind of pop? LCSs will start buying by weight for 90%. We'll hope so, Cotcom. I think so eventually. I think we need the equilibrium on 90%. Like, I'm showing 90% down here, right? And I do think that eventually 90% will start to get back in the fold once refiners get caught up, once the Comex contract issues balance out. I do think that it'll come back, but it could be very long road. We need a lot of bad tastes to get washed out of LCS's mouths. You know what I'm saying? The sun will turn black and the moon will turn red just before the great and terrible day of the Lord. The scriptures looks like it's actually about to happen to Dragoon on March 3rd. Let's hope not, man. Let's hope not. I got a young family. That's a little urgent. That's a little urgent, Brilliance. Once the coin shop gets used to buying 10 back and selling 10 over, it will become permanent. I don't think so, Nate, because the thing is at that point, we're talking about coin shops. All you guys got to do, if you want your coin shop to start selling closer to spot, is stop buying way over spot. If your cash speaks, right? Your cash speaks. And if you stop buying way over spot, they will have no choice but to either reduce closer to spot, or to at the very least reduce closer to what wholesalers and refiners will pay them. All right, so Fuzzy is thinking $10,000 gold, $500 silver. So I mean, if we do feel that way, right? If we feel like we're gonna get that high on gold and silver, I mean, then really, I mean, that's only 3 years away. Yeah, 3 years away for 2029. If you do believe that, then I don't know what better place to put your fiat currency into then, because you're way outpacing inflation. You're outpacing almost hyperinflation at that point. Um, so I mean, I'm not saying no, but that is a massive increase. That really is, like, in comparison to all other markets that I've ever dealt in for 25 years. That would be a very strong, doubling your money in 3 years is a very strong market in any market, right? So, and with silver, that's well over doubling, right? That's 5xing. I'm just talking about gold. Doubling your money in gold, that's impressive. But going up 5x in silver in 3 years is crazy strong, crazy strong. The demand is still there, so it's going to go up because they can't open new mines and start producing silver. I mean, they can. It just takes time, right? Andrew, we are opening a new refinery in a couple of years with what was that? Is it Korea Zinc? The company Korea Zinc is working with the U.S. government to open a refinery in Tennessee. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Crazy thought, but can they settle contracts by converting silver to gold? I don't think there's, Doxum, I'm not quite sure, but I don't think there's a conversion from gold futures to silver futures. I'm not aware of that, but you never know, really. Maybe the Comex can work out some kind of agreement. I don't know. I don't know. GSR 50-1 should be the base. Let's see. If they revalue gold to cancel debt, it goes to, yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know that they're going to go to a gold debt cancellation. We've talked about it before, but I think all of you guys need to read the Genius Act. Genius. Read the Genius Act. It has been passed by the House, passed by the Senate, and signed into law by the president. So it is a legal law that is active. Read the Genius Act. It is pretty clear that they are focused on developing a stable coin to act as a transactional currency that is backed by the United States dollar. And I believe that that is going to be their ticket for clearing a lot of the debt. And they're going to probably cause some destabilization of the US dollar by convincing people to convert to stable coins. And then I think that's when we will see some sort of like true $1 trillion type debt deal. Everyone here is using Shanghai spot when dealing. It is hyperinflation. That's why they gain dollars over. Yeah, I mean, I think the dollars it's still strong in the world currency, but it is fading, and there's a lot of countries definitely doing everything they can to circumvent the U.S. dollar dependency around the world, and by buying gold and by buying other countries' debts and by not investing in the US dollar as much, not investing in our treasuries as much, so that they can have their own currency and their own gold, and they can be a little bit more isolated and independent. You definitely are seeing that across the world. Yeah, I agree with you. I just don't think so, Brilliance. I don't think so, but I don't know. The demand is there for silver. The contracts come due at the end of the month. Well, yeah, they do, Andrew. I'm not sure how long you've been watching. They do come due, but the problem is that they've already punted. Here, let me switch the screen here for you guys. They've already punted over 80,000 contracts from March into May and July and September. So they are continuing to delay the delivery on these contracts by just reducing the number of contracts coming up in March. So already, they have enough, it's not registered, but whatever. They have, eligible is the word. They have enough eligible silver to meet the demand if all of the March contracts were to stand for delivery. And we know that it's not going to be the case, because they're going to continue to push more of these off before the next 5 or 6 days that come up. And even the ones that stand for delivery, they have up until March 31st to actually deliver that silver. So they could get there. They could push it even further if they wanted to. Yeah. I wasn't saying they can make a mine tomorrow, but when they bring refineries, it's even going to take years for the refineries to come on board. But when they do that, obviously production starts to ramp up. So manufacturing is ramping up. People are going to want more delivery. I think so too, Jaeger. Again, I'm not arguing the fundamentals of silver. I hope you guys understand that. I am talking about the paper online markets. I mean, whatever we want to believe about it, the paper online market, it's a sham, guys. It's a sham on the way up. It's a sham on the way down. But we're in the midst of this sham, and we're in the middle of it. And what we need to hope for is that there's enough like upward momentum and velocity that is long enough sustaining that it doesn't crash down too hard when it does finally come down. Now, some of you guys think that it's going to go up way higher, but it's not going to go up indefinitely forever. There will be periods of pullbacks. Some of them will probably last longer than the one we just had in January, right? This one only lasted like a month, and we're already recovering pretty well. In the past, in the history, we've had these pullbacks last, decades. So I do think that that's going to come eventually. I don't think that we're there yet. I don't think we've hit the height yet. But again, I'm not a sponsored guy. I don't have a sponsored channel. I'm not trying to sell anybody on anything. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. My goal here is just to have, again, conversations, just to share thoughts and opinions, and to kind of play devil's advocate sometimes, but also kind of challenge people's thoughts and challenge my own thoughts and see if we can kind of make as many, have as many eyes in as many directions as we can to see what's going to come. And, there we go. Here, I got a quote I can read you guys here. This is the kind of community that I'm trying to foster here. Let me read this quote here. Right? In Judges, Gideon asks God how to choose his men for battle. The Lord told Gideon to take his men down to the river and drink. The men who flopped down on their bellies and drank like dogs were no good to him. Gideon watched as some of his men knelt down and drank with their heads watching the horizon, spears in hand. Though they were few, they were the men he needed. That is the whole premise of this channel and why I do the live streams, is to foster a community of people who have their head looking to the horizon and their spear in their hand, ready to determine what is the best course of action based on what could be coming, what unknowns could be coming in our future and in our horizon. And so each and every one of you that's here and you're talking, you're chatting, you're sharing your opinion, you're dropping comments, this is why we do this, is to just figure it out. And at the very least, whether we're right or wrong, we can at the very least be prepared for pretty much any option that can come. We can have contingencies on contingencies, right? And I like to hear what other people think, because everybody studies different parts of this. Apple, Samsung, and Tesla have already purchased massive amounts of future silver. Yeah, they should be. Those giant corporations, they need it, right? And they are paying numbers the Comex can't match. No one will sell to them at their numbers. Yeah, I mean, that would be obviously like strong demand like that with driving up prices. That would be helpful. Also, somebody said something about when gold is $10,000 per ounce, a 1 ounce, 1 ounce round would trigger the whatever the IRS, $10,000 rule. The thing about that though is, guys, you could just sell your gold for $9,950. You know what I mean? Or you could trade for, $1,000 in silver and $9,000 cash, right? There's ways to work around that if you really are creative. Not that you shouldn't report your sales to the IRS. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to avoid the $10,000 in one transaction, there's ways around that too. The IOU economy is falling apart like a house of cards. It always has, Roger. It always has. In every instance in history, the fiat debt-based system has always resulted in hyperinflation and death of the currency 100% of the time. It has not happened yet in the US dollar, but we all see the writing on the wall. We all see the hyperinflation happening. We all see the inflation happening. We all see the M2 money supply increasing. We all see the way the Federal Reserve is doing monetary policy, the Keynesian theory here. It's just a matter of time. And so that's why I buy gold and silver right there. I'm doing it as a way to protect my assets from the slow degradation of the US dollar's purchasing power. That's why I buy it myself. What would support a so-called stable coin? I can't see that working. Is it gimmicky in my opinion, unless it was partially? What would support it would be brilliant. It would be the US government putting out an entire like CIA mind F campaign to create this system where the US citizen majority would be begging for it. That's what they would do. Nate, what's up, buddy? Thanks for being here. Manufacturing is ramping up. People are going to want more for delivery. I think I already popped that one. I'm getting caught up. I appreciate all the comments. I'm trying not to like miss anything, so I don't want to slow you down, but that's where we're at. All motherboards are assembled with silver. Yeah, they have fractional silver in all the motherboards. Yeah, pretty much most high-end like electrical current, it's gonna have some silver in it, right? AI comes to a halt quick without silver. Yep. AI again, Jaeger. We talked about this a lot on this channel. This is one of my expertises, you could say. AI is data. Data are data centers. So until the chips and the processing power and everything, until you don't need millions of GPUs and all these electrical currents going back and forth from data storage to data processing and back and forth, all those connections need silver, and that's what powers AI. AI is just data and the logical manipulation of data to produce an outcome. That's what AI is. And so that's what all these data centers exist for. That's what the arms race is for. That's why the US and China are becoming such superpowers in military and finance and global scale, is because of their data infrastructure. Yep, absolutely. Hey, I appreciate it, Andrew, dude. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate all of you guys. Thanks for the kind words. Thoughts on the Mexican cartel's disruption of mine operations? Doxum, I don't have enough actual knowledge of that situation. I probably should spend more time learning about it, but there's just a lot of conflicts in the world to kind of pay attention to. But I did watch Silver Dave's channel out there, local Silver Mint, and I pray for that man. I hope he's okay. I've heard some pretty scary things. I know he's a retired special ops guy, so I'm sure he can handle himself in a tough situation. And he seemed pretty calm and loose, which is good to see, which means his mind's going to be working quick. But I hope for his best of his safety, because even the best trained people can get caught off guard. So, I hope the best for him. And he said that situation in Mexico, I just don't know enough about the conflict and what's causing it and what the outcome's going to be, though. So I can't tell you. When JPM would short their own paper shorts, if they had that, they had a dude, Old Salt. So Old Salt, what they do, Old Salt, is they reverse their positions. So they'll just work with another bank in theory. Not that they would do this because it's illegal, but they would collude with another bank, and they would just reverse positions and just get paid out on the other side of it, and then close out their one at a loss while making profit on the other, and then just run it back up and then take out the profit when they sell out of that position. And they can do the same thing in reverse, going down. Guys, just because something goes down doesn't mean the financial institutions lost money. They play all angles, right? They play up and down at the same time. In fact, sometimes the more volatile it is, the more extreme the ups and downs, the more money they make, because they play it on that point. So don't think about down as bad. Think about that down as their opportunity to make money because it went up too high too fast, right? Let's keep buying and pinching the price. Hell yeah, dude. Go. Hey, I do my service, okay? I do my service to the silver, all right? I got piles of silver. I've bought silver and gold and platinum almost every week for the last, I don't even know, 6 months. I'm doing my part. Modern day Rome is falling. What would that system look like? Man, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Make sure you have enough money and wealth stored in some form of asset to ride out whatever the S storm happens. All right. Yeah, exactly, Rodney. They'll figure it out. When the physical silver runs out at the Crimex, will they start shorting the paper shorts since they love paper so much? No. When it runs out, in theory, Old Salt, we would expect the price to go up. I mean, I would. If there's that much demand for physical and it's not available to be delivered, that means that just basic demand and supply would dictate that the price of that silver should, in theory, go up, so that people that want to actually get delivery of it have to pay more. I mean, that should be what happens. Now, what up, suckers? Oh, that's funny. What's going on, sir? Welcome. And why China is building more nuclear plants than the rest of the world combined? I think the U.S. I mean, quite frankly, Jaeger, I genuinely think the United States should build a lot more nuclear power plants. I really do. I know that they can become targets, right? But we have the strongest military in the world. We can find ways to protect those things. I really do think that we should look at building a lot more nuclear. But by silver from Mexican drug gangs, China has been supplying them with weapons and drones. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna. If you had commodity as a country, and you have another country who needs that commodity, and they're willing to pay a lot of money for it, you sell to them. I think a lot of the morality goes out the window when they're doing international trade like that. I mean, I know a country that sells a lot of firearms to foreign countries. If you enjoy this discussion, appreciate you. Thanks for the shout out there to TFT. I know Omega Stacking and others have been shouting out the subscriptions and the likes and stuff like that. I appreciate it. Those 100-ounce bars are almost back to $10,000. Isn't that insane? That's a lot of money. Texas is about to start testing small reactors. Nice. I think it should be done. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have had one heck of a great conversation here about the CME group deciding to halt the silver trading, about the silver price of trading. We do have a little bit of a down day approaching us. It looks like it's going to be a nice little small down squeeze again. We'll see what happens. Maybe we can rally back up when the U.S. markets open in the morning here. But currently, a little flat, a little down, no big deal. We've had a great week here at the 5-day chart, which I'm very excited to see, like a slow, gradual increase again. This is looking healthy again. So hopefully we can push into that $100 mark and push out of it. If you're here for the first time, appreciate you guys. Click the like button, subscribe, share the videos. Invite somebody to come hang out with the channel. We do have a Discord channel available as well if you're interested in doing that kind of stuff to carry this conversation on after the live streams and on weekends and things like that. But anyway, I appreciate each and every one of you guys that stops in to check out the channel and to say hi. You guys really do make this worthwhile. And God bless you guys. Let me kill the poll here. Don't get you started on Nuclear Penny. Let me kill the poll here and see what you guys think. And the winner is... Silver price was getting too high. Yeah, okay, reasonable folk out there. I thought we would go with some of the more extreme answers, but all right. Sense of humor dead. Let's be serious. Anyway, have a fantastic day. God bless. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.